Good evening and salutations, my Y&R fans. Oh, Sarah. In a sense, Sarah Horton is like GH's version of Elizabeth Weber. Sanctimonious to a T, but hypocritical as all hell. Okay? She sat there and watched Xander ream out both Alex and Stephanie, and chose to do and say nothing, right? Those two are scrambling to sit there and keep Sarah's dirty ass secret up until a point where Xander's like practically threatening Alex's job. There's a point where he gets a call from Shen, he leaves the room. And Sarah's like, hey, listen, I'm not going to let him fire you. I'll sit there and tell the truth or whatever. And this is where they both decide to be like, no, he's already upset with us. You don't want to sit there and lose your marriage at this point. You do realize that those two not that long ago was practically like, no, you should pretty much come clean. Why should we have to sit there? Stephanie was like, why should I have to sit there and lose my relationship with Alex and basically try to make it seem like your relationship is more important than mine? Hell, there was even a point where Xander was like, why would you sit there and go along with this lie, making you look like a quote unquote cunt, a chump? He knew that it bothered him. I don't really understand why it bothers him that much, but he knew it bothered him. They leave. They came there to sit there and get tickets for a musical, The Notebook. It's a good movie, by the way. Um, Xander comes back, and he's like, listen, I can't even do anything to Philip, because at this point, that goes public. That whole takeover, it's down the drain. It's done. It's finished. So I'm stuck with his ass. That secret's gonna come out. And when it does, ooh, me oh my, am I gonna enjoy the look? I'm gonna enjoy the living hell out of it. I really am. Philip has to make his rounds. See, first he has to then explain to Belle that, yeah, by the way, remember that letter? It was a forgery. Yeah, my bad. Tells, Vivian did it, but he'll protect, or he'll make sure that if it comes out with Xander or anybody else, the bar association, he'll throw himself at the mercy of the court or throw himself in the sword, whatever. He's like, I got you. She's mad, obviously, but she's like, listen, given my morality at this point, with her conflicting feelings towards EJ, he's gonna try not to drop the hammer on him that much. I was like, oh, it was awesome. Belle's actually not being a hypocrite. I guess Sarah could sit there and learn some lessons and some cues from her. And then pays Mommy Dearest a visit and tells Kate everything. Vivian's telling about the approval point. Now, I'm going to be honest, I still think the way that this secret came out was just stupid. And it might have something to do with, I don't know, maybe Vivian's age. Because let's be honest, Vivian came to town, she caused a little ruckus or whatever, and then she left, right? Honestly, I don't know. I felt like when she used to coming back in the day, it used to be more of a grandiose scale, and now she comes back and she's like, I'm gonna sit there and teach her a lesson because you defied me and I didn't get my money. Like, it just seemed kind of stupid. It's the same thing with Sammy. It's like Sammy came back and it seemed like there was almost no point of her being there. I felt like, yes, it was a really good conversation for so many different reasons between Johnny, and Sammy. But Sammy has always been known as Hurricane Sammy, you know. She was the Carly before the Carly in a sense, right? And by Carly I mean General Hospital Carly. But her coming back was lackluster at best. Hell, I mean, when she came back a few years ago with the whole Alley thing, she caused a mess, and she was kind of a messy and dynamic and drama character. What did she do? She came back, she talked to Johnny, great. She slept with Rave, okay, and then she left. I know sometimes with people, they just want to see their favorites on screen just to be there, but sometimes I feel like it needs to be more of a meaning behind the reason why they're there. What the character's known for. Um, Now, Kate is also upset with Rex because Rex thought that, she might have shot Agent. I didn't think she needed to be. I felt like she was a little kind of over the top and kind of dramatic about it. And she didn't want him to sit there and say, because she was like, hey, he was like, hey, I also think that Dad could have did it as well. Kate's like, don't say anything to him. Because you already, you know, insulted me by accusing me, even though it was a bunch of other people. Yeah, and you're still one of them. Hell, you had just as much motive. EJ did threaten your children. You would do anything for your children, so why is it out the realm? What is it? Oh, you know me? He did know. He does know you. That's why he assumed that you did it. Like, what are you talking about? Now, Roman is there. Roman is at the hospital trying to get updates from Kayla. Kayla's like, why you asking about EJ? You hate him as much as the Bible hates sin. Like, what are you talking about? He's there. It's not just saying that he wants to update Sydney. He wants to update Johnny. You know, and that's why he wants to know. Now, Susan is also there. This is where we get into the wacky comedy of things with her psychic vision. There's a point where Kayla's like, maybe Susan would sit there and crack the case. And Roman's like, what are you talking about? You don't actually believe in that stuff, do you? How are we sitting there even questioning this shit when Marlena was possessed by the devil twice? But you're questioning psychic powers now. This is like, this EJ's done that before too. And EJ, I'm pretty sure he was either in town or heard about it, or at least the second time, knowing about Marlena being possessed. Yeah, sometimes he has a hard time believing that his mother can be psychic. Like, okay. But his mom's there. Belle eventually gets there. But before she gets there, Kayla sits there and tells Susan about the pros and cons of, taking about the coma. But since Susan said that EJ looked restless, Kayla was like, okay, listen, we can take him out. So Belle gets there. They start to wean him off of the drugs and everything. And eventually he does wake up. Rather, he remembers who shot him off of the date. Now, of course, this story really does not make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I know that this show must be on some sort of shoestring budget because I don't understand how people are constantly getting shot, killed in a mansion. A mansion that should be having servants and maids and butlers and security because you got expensive shit. And here's the thing: even if I was to sit and believe that they were going to be lax about the security, Abby got killed there. You would think, okay, you know what? Maybe we should sit there and have some security, right? You got Rafe that just walked in there. You got Gabby that was just on the goddamn premises. And God knows who still shot him. And yet you're telling me that you didn't bother to get security? This is the stuff that I think about in the mornings. After I finish watching Days, when I'm at work or whatever, and I should be working. I'm just like, I know it's a soap opera and they gotta stretch shit. But like, it's like every time AJ's like, oh, I gotta get the door. I mean, where's my butler? My imaginary butler. It's like, okay, cool. I guess this is what we're doing. Um, let's see what else wound up happening. I'm actually looking to sit there and see if I missed anything else. Like I said, oh, Belle did sit there and tell Philip to get a good lawyer. Well, told him to get Justin, so I wouldn't necessarily sit there and say he's a good lawyer, but he is a lawyer nonetheless. Um, yeah, told his ass to get a good lawyer, and yeah, I feel like that's about it. That is the general gist of the episode. Now, I might have missed a couple of things here or there, but again, that's the general gist of the episode. So if you missed anything, write in the comment section or come to the live stream tonight. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We're going to sit there and talk about all the soaps as you know. Days of Our Lives, Bold and Beautiful, Young and Restless, General Hospital, and Beyond the Gates. I felt like there's a certain order I need to do it in, otherwise I'm going to miss one. But technically, I talk about all five of the soaps. So, yeah, I'll see you in the next video.